Welcome to the Convergence Emergence channel, where we discuss disruptive technological innovation of emergent technologies and how the scope of these technologies expand as they converge together.
So you might say, well, that must mean that AI is a game-changing technology. And indeed it is, but it's much more than that. AI is altering the playing field that all of us are playing on. It's not just a cute metaphor. It is radically transforming the playing field. So I want to talk to you briefly about driving AI into mobile devices like robots. You're going to hear another talk on robots, but I just want to talk about the AI part of robotic devices. This is the DARPA 2015 grand challenge on trying to get valves opened and doors opened to simulate robot performance in the Fukushima power plant. You can see that these robots are having some problems with something that we take for granted, dealing with gravity. And a lot of smart teams work very hard at getting these robots to perform. Yikes. Yeah. So there's a dirty little secret that people love watching robots fail. It's just something about us. Yeah. But watch what happens 1 year later. We have a robot from Boston Dynamics. Look at the stability of bipedal locomotion. What happened here? Was it motors and sensors that changed? No, it was the AI control system that allowed for under-actuated knees and legs so that it could adapt to the environment. Look at it adapting, on snow no less. Watch what happens when it loses its balance. You can bring up the audio a bit, please. Remarkably improved performance, don't you think? Yeah. And here we are at Boston Dynamics in 2017, just last year. We've lost the legs, or at least the feet, and now we have wheels. And this system, instead of being able to pick up 10 pounds, can pick up 100 pounds. And it's remarkably stable. Its control system is, look at how it leans into turns. Very graceful. Really amazingly graceful control system. And of course, if you put ice skates on it, it might compete on Holiday on Ice. Yeah, and we're also putting AIs into trucks. Here's a Volvo truck from Auto, and here's its maiden voyage, delivering an incredibly important product, beer, Budweiser beer. Yeah, and if you look carefully, you can see that that's the driver, but he's not behind the steering wheel. He's doing his machine learning homework in the back of the van there. And in a moment, you'll see that, yeah, there he is, studying hard, but not driving. That's the AI driving. And it's really good on long-haul trucking, not so good on inner-city trucking. Needs some help with that. We have robots in space powered by AIs, and robots under the surface of ice sheets, documenting glacial melting. There's a new journal called Science Robotics, which is all about the science underlying robotics. And here is a system where each of these leaves, these green triangular leaves, allow for locomotion. Those triangular leaves are 25 microns, or millionths of a meter. So really small robotics, and the big post that it's on is a human hair. It's from Cohen's lab at Cornell. Here's some examples of applied AI. AIs have been sponsored by companies and governments all over the world, and for good reason. I did a study of 360 innovative applications of AI that were documented at the Innovative Applications of AI conference. These are the patterns that they had in common. It's not just better, faster, cheaper. It's different. AI allows us to expand the range of the possible, to do things that we didn't know that we could do before. And you can do things in design, diagnosis, manufacturing and management, sales and configuration, and quality control. Across the board, you can get better performance if you use machine learning and AI. Here's an example. Here's Sentient. They evolved their hedge fund managers and their recommendation engines for e-commerce. This company, Lemonade, has been innovating in the insurance industry across the board, including adjudication of claims, something that the insurance companies thought absolutely required a human. And they allow customers to donate their underclaimed amount to charity. So they're teaming with their customers. This company, Collect AI, uses machine learning to gather the best practices of collection agents, human collection agents. And this company, Introspection, looks for weak signals of a lawsuit. Oftentimes when you get angry emails, you can just throw them in the trash. Sometimes those angry emails do turn into lawsuits. Introspection tries to weed those out. Digital Reasoning is a company that used to do military and intelligence work only. They've moved into fintech to look for signs of insider trading. And here's a market map from CB Insights of AI in the fintech industry, and it's all over the fintech industry, and we could also look at a similar map in healthcare. The Watson Health Cloud is something that has collected a lot of different algorithms and different classes of data to try to do a better job with patient care. And I want to say openly that they've had challenges with this. I'll be talking about that in the update section. But what I can tell you here is that, as IBM says, these are early days for AI in healthcare. They are hard problems, and they're going to stick with it. They've invested billions. They've had a lot of rough edges so far, and they're going to keep going. So let's talk about managing the benefits and the risks very quickly. We've seen Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook having to answer to Congress about Facebook's use of AI technology. We know that there's lots of fake news out there, and there's a fake news challenge that was run about 2 years ago, and it's recently completed. There's going to be a new one, and it's all about using AI to detect fake news. We know that there will be impacts on labor, and you've heard a lot of optimism from Peter and other folks about the effect of AI on jobs. I believe there'll be millions of new jobs, yes, but I also believe that AI and machine learning will displace a lot of jobs. And what matters is the ratio between those two things. And that ratio at any time could be unfavorable. It may ultimately be favorable. But this is a study done by the Oxford Martin Group, and it indicates that 47% up to 53% of US jobs over the next 10 to 20 years, not immediately, will be impacted by machine learning and automation, and it's even higher in other places. So what that says to me is, yes, AI and machine learning will improve productivity and precision of our work. It will transform business models like that transformed landscape that I showed you. But that means, I think, that we're going to have to provide free, high-quality training, and for those people who can't get new jobs immediately, some form of universal basic income, even if we try lots of different experiments doing it. I think that's better than the alternatives. If you have a better alternative, tell us about it. I think that AI and machine learning are not going to be sources of nirvana or gloom and doom. I invite you to the adult conversation that AI comes with trade-offs. Better, faster, cheaper, different problem solving, and also job disruption and human identity change, and risk amplification, and some risk reduction. You've heard Elon Musk worrying about the potential dangers of AI, but to his credit, he was with us in a conference in Puerto Rico on the future of AI and how to reduce the risk of AI. That was 2015. We talked about R&D on verification, validity, security, and control. And then a larger group got together at Asilomar in January of 2017 to come up with the aspirational Asilomar principles. Here's some quick recommendations. your own business with AI, or others will, plan for an increasingly capable set of voice interfaces. Rethink every aspect of your business processes. Don't just add AI to what you've got now. Democratize access to your business platforms. Open them up so other people can use them. Assemble data, algorithms, hardware, and talent. Talent is the hard part. And design for security, responsibility, and minimum bias. I'm encouraging you to build the future boldly and to do it responsibly. Thank you very much.